loves Newcastle and has got the stars to prove it. Is none other than Tim Dormand, otherwise known, of course, you may remember him, or no, of course, it's wonderful chit-chat. Great man, lovely to see you.
Lovely to see you, buddy. We haven't seen each other for a long time.
Way too long, way too long. You remain stylish and cool, and I am this.
Just a couple of big blokes with beards.
Yeah, correct,
yes.
Correct. Now, you have put together, and you did it a couple of years ago, Stories of Our Town, which was a whole series of incredible films about everything that tells way more detail and far more factually accurate than what I may have spotted about things. But it's an incredible way of celebrating this place by hearing from the people who lived the many stories here. What was the idea behind it?
Literally that. There's a website here, or a Facebook page called Lost Newcastle, and I was reading it and going, hang on, these are the actual, like history is generally told by generals, and I thought, how do we tell the story of the soldiers telling their story? And so we were reading this Facebook page, people putting up memories, and we started piecing together this idea. Tony, who I make the films with, ex-Foxtel, we used to work together, and we both live up here. Our wives are teachers. And we thought, how do we educate people about Newcastle and all the stories that are here? And so far, we've made 21 films in 6 years.
Wow.
And Foxtel and Binge has picked up some of them, SBS has picked up others. So to have these films, local stories, taken national has been a great, pride moment.
I'm not at all going to ask you to pick between your babies because they are all beautiful stories, but I want to focus in on particularly BHP and how you describe it, of course, in the title of the film as the city within the city. And the people that you have to tell the story of this incredible, big industrial landmark, but it means so much more culturally as well. I love that you found the most normal people to tell that story.
Well, that was extraordinary because, and at the height of BHP, 1 in 10 people in Newcastle worked there. You can't even comprehend. 1 in 10, right? They would serve 11,000 meals a day. There was 100-mile of train track. So I thought it'd be one story. I thought it would be a short story we could get in and just tell this thing. And then we started meeting these people. I met a Czechoslovakian guy who fled the country in the war. This is in the 60s, came over here, arrived in Mayfield, which people here would know, on the Sunday night, started the next day, worked 30 years and ran the coke oven. And he lived in my street. I never knew him. He was in his 80s. And his story was fascinating. We met the lunch lady who would have to go into these big sheds with these guys with their nude pictures up all over the walls. And
she's the one who used the word donger.
Yeah, she did. She complained and said, when I come back, I want a bloke with a big donger up there. I'm not coming back. So the humour was there. They'd tell us these terrifying stories, and we were just filming it, and we're going, God, this is a dangerous place. And then they go, and we just loved it, And so the commitment and the fact that people work 30 years or more there was a great part of the story.
Now, there may be the odd rock and roller, certainly from days past, in the crowd right here, but we were talking before the show, and literally the entire reason the Riot Squad exists in New South Wales is because of Newcastle.
Yeah, the Star Hotel Riot. That was our first film. We made that, and we thought, well, this will be a quick film, and everybody we talked to told a completely different story. All these people were standing next to each other in the night, had this story about this wild time, and 4,000 people went crazy on King Street on a Wednesday. No riot cops, no bouncers, no portaloos, no council approval.
Yeah, good.
So
no
everyone got, no public liability, and it made world news. And the world news was, this is what it's like in Australia when you try and shut down a pub.
Yes.
Yeah. So hysterical, and everything about that story was such a great. And then we went and did BHP after that, and now we've told Fortress Newcastle about the military history of Newcastle, and so many great stories. It's a great town. I grew up here, grew up in Waratah, and couldn't wait to get out, to be honest. And when I had kids, we came back here, and I just went, what a remarkable place. It really is. It's unique. It's the second oldest city in Australia.
Now, you can see this stuff, as you say, in lots of different places, from SBS to Binge. You can see some of the stuff at the Newcastle Museum. But the place, of course, that it lives is on its website of Stories of Our Town. There's YouTube videos where you can watch them all as well. Please watch these, and everyone here who may well have lived some of this history, these guys have done an incredible job of honouring it. Watch it, share it, get the word around.
We give them away. They're a gift to the city and the world. They're YouTube, Stories of Our Town.
Good stuff. Literally a rock star. Chit-chat. Thank you, mate. We love you, bro.
All right, thanks.
Thank you, man. It's so good.